actually, so you can get that. But we are now going to, before we get on to panel, we're going to now have a look at the brilliant of Gods and Warriors.
How dark the forest. There is always a path through it. You are a leader. That is your destiny.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a massive round of applause to our panellists from the film. We got Martyn Ford, you just saw him there battling hard. He is coming out first. Give a round of applause to Martyn Ford. We've got McArthur, who plays Loki. And lastly, you saw her there kicking butt with a sword. She is the main heroine of the piece. Please give it up for the brilliant Demetriou. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us this weekend. And how did it feel standing off stage there and looking up, seeing this on the giant screen? How did it feel for the first time, all of you, seeing it on a big screen like that?
It's the whole. I still find the whole thing very surreal. Again, seeing that, like, you want to do something from a young age, and then it's kind of happening, and being able to show people that I've met, things like that. It's very exciting for me. And yeah, we're very happy with it, and it's sound and everything. We love the music. It's really great. Yeah.
And one of the great things about that scene there at the beginning of the film was the fight which the two of you did. That looked a fairly intense fight sequence. How long did that take to do, and how long did it take to kind of film that?
Yeah, it was the biggest one we did, I think.
Yeah, the fight scenes were by far the biggest out of fight scenes in the film, the biggest there. What you don't see is the amount of work that goes into the beforehand, the preparation and the drilling and the practice and the repetition. The actual filming of it took about a day, maybe took a day and a half, but the preparation beforehand was 4 or 5 days.
Wow.
And it's more the technical work with the weapons to the time, and then obviously with my tattoo cover up and sweating and beard falling off.
He was in makeup longer than I was.
Yeah, that's always the case.
Yeah.
And there was, as you said there, the weapons. I mean, both of you had some incredible weapons in that. You had your giant axe, and you then not only had a sword to master, but a shield as well, because there's a lot of skill in using both of those.
Yeah, which in real life is actually extremely heavy.
Yeah. So how long did it take to get used to doing that? Because it looks amazing and it looks very natural.
Well, it's only the shield, thankfully, is only in it for a little bit. There's a fight previously where she has a flaming torch as well. There's occasional like dual wielding moments, but yeah, thankfully they kind of get dismissed pretty early on, and she can just get back to her sword. But yeah, no, again, I had a great double that helped like carry that part of it because it was so heavy. But yeah, she was kicking ass with that.
And I get the feeling that you're all going to be good in as use for zombie apocalypse here, because there's all sorts of dual wielding skills that you've now picked up and things like that. So it's going to be kick ass if we ever needed that.
Yeah.
But for all of you then, I mean, how did you get involved in the movie, and how did you first get made aware of it?
Well, you normally hear through your agent. I actually auditioned for another part in it, The King, which I didn't get, which one of my best friends did. But I sort of swallowed my pride and asked the director if he had anything else going. And luckily he did, playing Loki, which is the kind of god of mischief. We have a Scandinavian Viking expert, Martyn in the audience there, who will pronounce it correctly. Luki?
Wow.
Luki?
Didn't know.
But so, I played that part, and you'll see maybe in one of the other trailers, I've got my top half of my face sprayed black with gold and a hood, and I'm kind of the mischief maker. kind of against this character here.
Yeah, a little
so
bit.
we never met on set.
Oh gosh, yeah, you never did. There's no scenes between
There's no scenes between
No.
us.
Okay, for me, I was shooting a film called Foreign School, and that film is actually released cinema, plug in, 7th September with Pierce Brosnan and David Bautista. And the guys who did the fight coordination for that also did the fight coordination piece. And I just got in through the back door, no audition. Sorry.
There's loads of people that look like you. So.
How about you, Anne? How did you become aware of the film?
Yeah, same thing. I auditioned via my agent. There was a fight recall a couple of days later to see if I could deal with that. I guess I could, thank goodness. And then it was. I got this film 6 months after leaving drama school. I was very, very lucky, and I kind of got to set having very little screen experience, and everyone was so wonderful and welcoming, and I just had the time of my life. Honestly, it was amazing.
And well, it's not very often, like you say, you come out of drama school and then 6 months you've had a kick-ass
Exactly.
princess, is it really? And the film actually does have quite a nice, rich Norwegian vein to it, and historical vein. Did you all do any research beforehand? I mean, obviously we've got our expert in the audience there that was on how to help you, but did you do any of your own personal research, all of you, or?
You know, when I spoke to the director before we did this, I asked him if he wanted to do that, and he said that he wanted to mainly focus on the on the Disney side of it. To be honest, he had recently had a little girl, and he spent 6 years watching Disney films with Disney princesses, and he kind of wanted to. He called this his blood-soaked revenge on Disney, to have something for his daughter to watch when she gets older and feels stronger than what the Disney films kind of represent women as. He just said watch loads of Disney films and imagine the women, but kick ass, and so I just did that instead.
Fair enough.
Fair enough indeed.
What about you, the other two of you? Did you actually do any research or anything? Did you get the time to do it?
Me, I've got a confession, I did no research at all. I was straight from one film onto the next. I got the part come through, and I saw the character. I actually played 2 characters in this film, and it was a very easy. They were both very easy characters to play. I was just basically a big bully that had to try and kill this one.
Twice.
Yeah, twice. But it was, for me, it was 2 very interesting characters that I really enjoyed. And if you're into your action and your high-paced fight scenes and so on, you will really enjoy the fight scenes. They are very good, and the character really does sort of break out and come out of the screen into the audience, which that was my main objective with this film, was to try and bring 2 different characters to screen, because obviously it's very difficult when you're playing 2 characters to make they look the same, so you've got to make them different. So my main research was into try and create 2 very different characters and to make it interesting.
Yeah, I don't think it's clear in the trailer he plays twins. I don't think it's clear. Yeah, he plays 2 people.
Wikipedia is a wonderful thing when you play the deity, so I had a good look there just to see the background to Luke and who's related to him. So you didn't really want to go do Tom Hiddleston, you wanted to do your own thing, and also the director did a lot of research with the help of people like Martyn into Norse mythology, characters and so on. So it was already there in writing, but also I did a little bit of research, mainly on Wikipedia.
But it must be nice though to get to do a version, because as you say, Loki is kind of character we see a lot of on screen at the moment in various incarnations, but it must be refreshing as an actor to do your own version of a character like that.
Great, and it was helped a lot by the costume and makeup designer, Siobhan. If you see the trailer, I've got a heavy spray paint on my eyes and the top half of the head, which is great. But she was basically on Lee Bowery, and do you remember you might not be too young, in the Blitz Club, the New Romantics, and there was a bloke on that scene who used to wear paint all over, dripping down his face. And she liked the look of that, and with the director they developed this kind of look between the 2 of them. And so that was already in place when I got on anyway.
You mentioned the makeup there as well. The costumes look like they are very authentic to a degree, which must have made it fun, especially during fighting scenes and quite a few action scenes.
I've ripped my pants so many times, just from different, because you lunging or attacking, and then it was just so funny. I'd have patch jobs all the time, or just around my shoulder, and my leather jacket kept ripping off. Stuff like that. But we just most of the shoot was more physical than then I think I had more fight scenes to film than dialogue scenes than drama. So yeah, I think the costume took a battering by the end of it.
I think the one thing that I'll always remember about this film was the smell. The actual costumes were real animal.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and we were shooting in Ireland and it was raining and the ice stunk.
Wet fire.
It was disgusting. And I didn't realise the smell until I got back to the hotel and I still smell. Yeah, that was the costumes are fantastic, don't get me wrong, they're absolutely amazing, but I had 2 different costumes and they were just down 24/7.
Oh.
And it was just, it was wild.
That's great.
And did you have to do any like quick costume changes a lot of the time to switch between the 2 characters, and how did you deal with it?
Yeah, I had the one twin that's got like a beard, and then he had no scar, and the other twin has a massive scar down here, so we were pretty much just running backwards and forwards to change it all around. The costume changes, obviously it's very easy, it's just you change it to clothes, but when it comes to doing the makeup and making sure that everything's perfect and the scars the right length and so on, that can be quite stressful, that's for sure.
Wow. You sound like you had it does sound like it was a pretty intense shoot as well. And how long did it take to film the whole thing?
It was 5.5 weeks, I think.
Wow, that's actually, for a film of what this scope is, that's actually quite a quick turnaround.
Filming an action film in 5.5 weeks is a big ask, and we managed it somehow, yeah, we really did.
I'm going to guess then there were lots of long days.
Yeah. There's a few night shoots as well. They were interesting, like being on the beach at night time and stuff like that. With like mist being pumped across the beach. There's some really lovely moments where I'm thinking this is gorgeous. Like there was some really long days. It was kind of like 8 till 8, if not a bit longer for stuff like this. But yeah, I wouldn't change a second.
Yeah, I think what people don't realise about the acting is, although you times 8 till 8, you've got your pickup, you've got your preparation, you've got your D-rig. The reality is you're getting picked up at 5:30, 6 and you're going home at 9 o'clock. Yeah. And that runs straight through the week. That's the hardest thing. I mean, when you're actually on set, it's not that difficult. You get lots of gaps and breaks in between. I think it's just the duration of the production that wears you out.
Would you say also as well, I guess, the breaks, when you have breaks in between shots, that can be kind of tiring for you? Because you're in this moment, your adrenaline's pumping, then all of a sudden, stop, reset, and can that take a toll on you as well?
Yeah, for sure, especially if you're in like a really intense fight scene. And then the most frustrating thing of any film is when you've done something amazing and then sound or lighting or something got costumes off and you have to do it all again. And then to reset, which can take 6 to 7 minutes, and it's just, that's where the frustration comes in as the actor. I think if you're on stage and you're in a production like this, you've just got to make the best of what happens. If you make a cock up, you've just got to go along with it, whereas on film, it's just stop, start. So to get the continuous momentum is the hardest part, especially if you do a fight scene over 2 to 3 days. You've got to go straight back into 0 to 100 and bring the same energy, the same feeling to the camera that you had yesterday, and you might have had a completely different day yesterday. That's the hardest part of that.
The day where Martyn had just thrown me off his back and I just landed and I was winded, and we were picking that up next day. I had to try and remember what that felt like or what that might look like, and had to like run on the spot and make myself look out of breath to pick it up again. So like putting yourself back where you just left off. We were filming the end before we'd done the middle and things like that, and I think filming non-chronologically can be really jarring sometimes, and learning about that was really interesting.
Especially because, as you say, it's 6 months in now, it's been kind of an eye-opener for you.
For sure.
And when you're doing a film like this, you've got your fight sequences and stuff, and then you've got like a veteran like Martyn with you, and you've done tons of work. Your body work is huge, and so what help did he give you, and what did you kind of learn about the sequence of doing a fight scene, and how did that work out?
When they told me this guy's playing, this character, I thought, what? I can't believe I'm going to fight this guy. Like, it seemed completely ludicrous, but you know what? I got on with him almost more than most of the others. We ended up getting on really well, and we just had a great time on set. Our scenes were just had a laugh a lot of the time between, like, we beat each other up in between.
I think the biggest thing you can learn out there that wants to get into this industry and wants to do the fight scenes is to understand that the fight is very much like a dance, and you've got to know that your partner's move as well as your own. So if your foot goes forwards, you go back, and vice versa. And there's a tempo to a fight scene, so you want to try and catch that tempo, and that's what I was trying to teach Anna, was not to stress and panic, and try and understand the tempo and the movement speed. And that I think the most difficult thing when you're doing your first film is that you panic and you remember your fight scene and your sequence, and you try and go 1, 2, 3, 4. And in real life, a fight wouldn't happen like that. So you've got to try and replicate that. So there will be a gap, there will be a space, there will be a eye contact, there will be this, there will be that. And it was just, I think what I tried to give to Anna experience-wise was just to feel the fight rather than rush it, and find that tempo. And that's what I was taught by one of the best fighters in the world. It was like any job in the world, you learn from those who are the best. I've been very fortunate to work with some fantastic names, not only actors but also stunt performers. And I think you learn a lot and you don't realise it.
And going back to the film, and aside from yourselves, there's also got the brilliant Terence Stamp in the movie, and you've also got like Ian Beattie as well. So what was all of your experiences like working with them, and what was that particular like really for you?
Imitate Terence Stamp.
Yeah, there's one scene I had to imitate Terence Stamp because I pretend to be Odin.
Wow.
And so they sent me tapes of his voice. He's got a very particular way of talking, but it also felt very cheeky because I'm a huge admirer of Terence Stamp's work. Right back to his early, it was the Hardy film we did. I can't remember, but he played Sergeant Troy, amazing actor. So I was trying to be Terence Stamp, and I thought I cracked it, but in the end I think he did it in the ADR, didn't he? I don't know if it's my voice or not, I still don't know.
But you can't tell that he was doing the right thing.
I was talking about Terence Stamp.
Wow.
But he's a lovely guy to work with as well. He's been in the industry for years, but he's very good at pacing himself. He's learned how to do it. He does his stuff and relaxes to the side. Doesn't involve himself too much in the banter or anything like that. He's just focusing on his work. Ian Beattie focuses less on his work. He's good fun.
He was great. There were scenes where he could have gone home like he was wrapped for the day, but he stayed stayed as my eye line for one of my own takes and things like that, which is stuff he didn't have to do, but really that much of. And just gave me something to look at, or gave me something to fuel whatever I was feeling in that scene. So he always said, never leave set if you don't have to today. This is the best place in the world. And I really took that on board, and I think he's right. And it was lovely to learn that.
And with long nights and days where you're filming on incredible vistas and like beaches and on cliff tops as well, there's a particular scene that we'll see at some point shortly. What was the crew atmosphere like amongst the cast and crew? Were there any particular highlights for any of you that you can recall?
We were cold.
Oh yeah, the highlight, I don't know if you call it a highlight. There's a part where we're in the sea and the boat's there, and there's actually guys rocking the boat. And it was the summer, but it was like -20. It was absolutely freezing, and the water kept going in. And we didn't realise they were basically about to die when we got all the guys. So we had to rush them out of the water and change them. They were shivering. It was honestly, it was the coldest thing I've ever shot in my life. That will probably be one of the ones that really jumps out as a memory. But considering the conditions we filmed in, everyone got on so well, and it was such a great energy on set. It really was.
Such a big fan of the event. It was so lovely. Everyone was there because they wanted to be. It was a big passion project, this film as well. And everyone was enjoying contributing what they brought to it.
One of the people on the technical side and the crew are Game of Thrones people. They've worked on Game of Thrones for all the seasons. So and a lot of the places we were filming were also Game of Thrones scenes were filmed there as well. The Dark Ages. So they're well used to working this kind of pace and this kind of and working in the cold way as well.
I think one of the memories that will jump out for me about set was when Hannah mentioned earlier we had a fight with fire, and we had an artificial cave built. And the stunt guy came and said, don't worry, it's all been sprayed, it's perfectly safe, no problem. So there's a scene where I smash this out of Anna's hand, and this flame goes across, hits the cave, and the whole cave goes up. And we all have to run and get evacuated and sprayed it down. Yeah, so that's pretty all there.
That cave was in a cattle shed, wasn't it, on the farm, where
Yeah,
most of the
farm.
interior stuff was filmed.
Yeah.
They kept it all on a farm, so you'd have a few exterior shots, down by the scene, whatever, but a lot of the interior shots were, in one enclosed space in a farm. The art director, I think, sort of relationship.
Some really interesting art director moments. There's a scene where I have a real rabbit on a spit roasting, and to make it look like it was cooking, they sprayed it with something to make it look like it was all, like it was cooking, the juices were coming out of it. They sprayed it literally with flammable oil and put it over a leg of flame. So like halfway through the take, this rabbit starts just like literally cooking and starts thinking that I had to cut it. It was just, I remember laughing so much and then trying to get back into character for that episode because it's just, I just couldn't imagine this, why someone would douse the rabbit with like WD-40. It was so funny.
Stop it squeaking.
I know. Flaming rabbit.
Well, we'll be speaking a bit about the film, but what we're going to do now is we're going to have another look at it. So it's time now to play our second clip.
However dark the forest, there is always a path through it. A good action film is a great watch.
It's a childhood fantasy, I suppose, swinging swords and potentially killing people.
For me personally, I like the big powerful scenes. I like to be able to put my presence onto the set.
What's unusual about this action film is it's certainly written as a very moving, interesting story.
It's kind of, in a way, half Cinderella, half Braveheart.
We will not all live to see tomorrow.
There are some typical classic fairy tale elements to this. And then there are scenes where it's just mayhem.
I have a very young daughter, which means I have spent a lot of the last few years watching and re-watching Disney princess movies. And I figured I had two options. I could go insane, or I could come up with my own sort of blood-soaked revenge on the Disney princess movie.
It's becoming harder these days to make good independent movies. So when they come up, actors grab them. Thank you.
Thank you.
For those of us who haven't kind of gathered, for those people out there, what the story is, give us a bit more about that, because we know so far it's got Norse touches to it. We know so far it's got kick-ass princess at the lead, but what more, without spoiling it too much, can you tell us about that?
It's got, you know what? It's very, very similar to the plot of The Lion King, and that's something that like David admits fully. He was like, I took a lot from that because it's just that. I mean, the film is great, but just as a journey of a protagonist, there's a lot of that goes on. So again, it's very much like a girl becoming a woman and just learning about revenge and loss and love and gaining and losing things as a young person. So that I think that there's genuinely something for everyone in this. It's funny at times, it's very dark at times, it's very gruesome unexpectedly, and I keep forgetting how gross it can be. But yeah, there really is just all sorts of bits in this, but it's got a little bit of everything in terms of the storyline, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the film for me was, it's really strange when you make a film because you can read it and you don't really see it. And then when you watch it, the first time as an actor when you watch it, you just watch yourself. And it's just shouldn't do this. And then the second and third time you watch it, you actually watch the film and you absorb it. And the story is very cleverly put together and it is an interesting watch. And there's a lot of, like I was saying, there was revenge, there was love, there's a scene later on where Anna's involved and it's this bit of a backwards and forth between a love relationship and a friend relationship, and it's very clever, and there's quite a few surprises that come through without trying to give too much away. I think that's why I enjoyed watching it, because I could really see the detail and depth of the story that I read. I didn't really understand properly, and it also opens up to having the possibility of something good following this, because there's quite a powerful ending.
Yeah, I think there's always something really lovely about watching good versus evil. It's satisfying for the viewer, and I think that's what makes a lot of, again, Disney very watchable. A lot of action films very watchable. Is seeing something you want to be defeated, and it kind of comes full circle. It's a very interesting kind of moments that you don't expect in this, but it leaves you very satisfied at the end.
And Terence Stamp kind of said it there in the clip that independent movies are kind of more of a rarity in terms of because of the production costs now, that you get a good action one like this. What do you think this kind of film means to that independent film genre right now?
I hope it helps it. In this country, all the big studios are booked out with huge blockbusters, and there seems to be very little room or money available for anything below that. And television is probably taking up a lot of that slack. People like Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, and all the kind of stuff on Netflix and Amazon is taking that up. And I think it's a great shame. I was talking to a producer the other day who said that independent film is becoming a bit of a vanity project. There isn't the support for it, and I think if that kills off, we've got quite an active British film industry that relies on us rethinking new ideas. I mean, all the VFX and special effects people are still winning massive awards, but the filmmaking is increasingly difficult to get it off the ground here, get funding for it. So when this does happen, it's unusual, and I think everyone pulls together, actors are prepared to put up with maybe a smaller Winnipeg than they're used to.
And I think also the climate that we're in, getting a female-led action movie with all of that money, getting that funded blockbuster-wise would be tougher than a male-lead blockbuster right now. So I think if we need these kind of independent films to kind of tell these stories, that is now, in the last 5 years especially, it's been getting better and better, and we're seeing such wonderful changes. I'm so glad to be a part of that. But yeah, I think independent films can get kind of underrepresented stories told, or things made that wouldn't necessarily have multi-millions behind it. So I'm really glad that we were able to tell this story specifically, because I love it a lot.
And that's been nice for you as well. It's 6 months out of Drama School to be an iconic, to almost have a role now where people can look up to you and see you as a role model. That must be kind of rewarding as well.
Of course. To have made a film that I would have loved to have seen if I'd been, a young girl, and when I was a young girl wanting to be an actor, this is all I've ever wanted to do. I didn't have a great deal of films like this to watch and feel excited about. So it's really great that they are getting made now, and I can be a part of that change for sure. That makes me very happy indeed.
And you mentioned during the course of the panel, you mentioned things like ripping of clothing and little things like that. What other funny things happened on set that you had, funny moments to make you smile?
I know it was so funny, but do you remember we were filming on the beach and we got attacked by 15-year-old kids?
Yeah.
It was,
what?
We were welcomed by the Irish, let's just say that. There was a shot of a nighttime shoot on the beach, and to get to this location you have to walk down a fair few steps, isn't there? And all the cars were parked at the top, and as we're walking back, there must have been 40, 50 young kids, all drunk, throwing stones and shouting abuse.
I didn't realise what was going on, and we just had to be like, can you not?
Yeah,
We're doing something.
that was an interesting memory.
That's funny. So obviously because Martyn plays two characters, there was one point where, again without giving too much away, his body was in a shot, but he was doing something else. So the actual Martyn had to be somewhere else doing a different thing. So they had someone, in a big kind of, well, not a fancy, but it's not a fancy. What do you say? A muscle suit?
Yeah.
No, they just had with a bald head, and he was in the shot. And the guy playing his body fell asleep in the middle of our take. So I was having this very kind of intimate scene with my father. It was very emotional. tears are flowing, and then we just heard this like snoring, very slight in the corner, and I was just like, power through, it's just got to keep rolling. And Andy Whip plays my brother, who's just like, I can't do this anymore, sorry, can we just wake him up? Because the snoring was going on throughout that whole take. I really hope there's an outtake of it, because that was priceless. It was funny.
How about you, Martyn? Is there any endearing or funny moments for you?
Well, kind of the character I play is very much on his own. So most of the stuff is, I did spend an awful lot of time dressed up in a silly outfit, sat in a cow stall, trying to keep cool. At the time it was quite hot day. I know it's raining as well. But I do remember Will Merritt bringing out a friend of his and his young boy with him to come on set to meet us all. And I was standing at the back of this cow stall, and I have a hood, black face, and they were just trying to keep cool. And he said, come say hello to the little boy. And I sort of loomed up on him like this, and this little boy just started crying. And I do lots of, it's okay, I'm a daddy too, hello. But I don't think it was a good idea to introduce me that way, because I loomed at him.
He's a very sinister character. I spoke to someone who's
I'm not very real.
Exactly, it's a shock. My friends said they enjoyed your character the most out of the whole film. Kind of scary.
Haven't seen it yet, but
Yeah.
So it must be good, must be nice though, because you say a darker take on Loki, because we normally got a fun take on him.
yeah.
So were there any areas that you drew upon to get that, aside from the makeup we discussed earlier, but were there any kind of other villains that you used as a model for that?
I tried not to nick other people's ideas and villain. I tried to use the voice helped a lot. If you kind of whispering it, it's more about the intent behind what you say. He's actually not an evil character in Norse mythology, right? So he's mischievous. So there's a kind of another storyline going on between the battle between Odin and Loki. Everything Odin does to try and power a central character, I try and undo with the character that Anna's character is in opposition with. So I'm whispering in his ear all the time to try and get him to do the wrong thing. And ultimately, he's undone. I won't give too much away. But that's all been part of my plan to kind of... the way I think of it is, he's like a bored teenager. I think my character is a bored teenager. He just, Dad won't let me do what I want to do, so I'll get mischievous. And there's quite a nice tie at the end of the film without giving too much away, where it could potentially be somewhere else as well. Because I moved shit my focus somewhere else.
And the only way you'll be able to find out about
The
that.
makeup did help. You just have to open your eyes, and if the rest of it's painted black, suddenly it looks great on screen.
And so you'll be able to find out more about what he means by buying the film. But we're going to open the question up to you, lovely ladies and gentlemen, now. So if you'd like to ask a question, stick your hand up and then I will come around to you. You can ask any of our cast a question about the movie. And just, there is a lady here. It's kind of a where's Wally, but there she is. So I will come down to you. Don't forget, if you do want to ask a question, keep your hand up so I can see you. Because don't put it down because I'm not a mind reader.
You just come straight out of film school, and I go to grammar school, and this was your first really big film. What was the thing that you were most nervous about doing for the first time?
Again, if you're leading something, you kind of have the responsibility of carrying everybody with you, or just making. I wanted it to be a film where people rooted for my character, and I think a lot of films fall flat when you just don't care enough about what the protagonist is doing, whether they win or lose. You just kind of go, I don't care enough. So I really wanted to make sure that she was a role that you just wanted to go, come on, and I really hope that I've done that. But yeah, I think it was the pressure in terms of just making it someone that you could really back, and not being too nervous, not letting my lack of experience come in the way of that. But yeah, I got to set, everyone was so wonderful, I really felt very at home, and I just had the greatest time. I wasn't particularly scared or overwhelmed. Everyone made me feel so welcome, especially the director and the writer, who gave me a lot of license with the script, and he let me kind of choose if I wanted to say something differently or do something differently. He was happy for me to take that. So yeah, it felt very much like I had a hand in it and a hand in the character and what happened. So, but yeah, it was definitely intimidating to make her a character that you really cared about.
I have a question for Gemma.
Greetings. This is for all of the cast who care to answer. do you have, or did you have any personal rituals or stuff you would do before shooting to get you in the mindset of the character you're playing?
Yes, I do. There's normally a line or something. If you're doing an accent, I will always have something I wanted to get the accent right. And with this, the way he was speaking, the character was speaking, there's one line I would go over and over again, just to make sure it was the right tempo. And weirdly, they gave me a kind of metal cuffs, and I found that all I had to do was clasp back on each hand, and then I was ready to go on set. But it's normally just focusing. It's just prepare yourself and focus.
Yeah, I will, especially fight scenes. I will play around with my heartbeat and my breathing, and I'll try and pace it into where I need to be for the actual fight or the action that I'm going to be. So I will literally just sit there on my own and be like. And then visualization as well, and try and really visualize what has got me angry for this particular fight or scene. And I find that helps me loads. It helps me bring the lines or the action to life, rather than just go through the motions. If you ever watch any of my fight films, I think you'll see in my eyes that he's genuinely real. Like when I was swinging an axe, I genuinely wanted to kill her. So it's a good job it was plastic. we actually broke two of them, didn't we? Yeah. But I think the hardest thing to do is to try and pretend to fight. So for me, it's a lot easier just to do it. Fortunately. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, the breathing and visualization is fantastic advice that I got from an incredible actor, Ray Winston. When I did my first TV show, Gods and Warriors, which was shot in America. Shot in South Africa, filmed for American TV, and I was playing Goliath in the classic story David and Goliath, and he helped me. Actually, that was my first film. So going back to what your question was, I was petrified, and I think as a new actor, it almost feels as a responsibility on the senior actor on set to sort of put their arm around you, and we are all in this together. If one actor in the film's terrible, the film's terrible. So that lead actor does not, 9 times out of 10, they should want the newcomers to shine. And for me, I've had some amazing people help me and give me advice and really learn how to bring the character to life. So that answers your question and your question.
The good thing about independent films is everyone's in it for the love, not necessarily the money. So it's a collaborative thing. Everyone wants to support everyone else to get the best out of it, because you're all good at it. Or not. Good in this case.
In answer to your question, I think my costume was definitely the thing that kind of just made me go, okay, she's here. Because I would have I had a sheath and my sword was in a holster, and my sword was very much just Hele's sword, and just everything about my costume, and I had a bit of fur and everything. When I was fully dressed and my hair had all been done, put in and everything, I just felt I was ready to go in that sense. It felt very, it just got me ready to, when I got ready in the morning, to be honest, that was literally all I needed. It was a wonderful visual, a wonderful thing to get ready in the morning. I loved it. I loved looking like that. It was great.
I think as an actor, when you have an outfit that's so different from normal clothes, it is a great trigger. A lot of actors won't wear anything that's theirs. I found that on set with a very famous actor that had a massive strop because he was asked if he could wear his own watch, and he just refused because he wouldn't allow him to get to character properly. So I think the clothing that you wear is also a massive trigger.
And we've got a question here down the front.
So, this one's broadcast. What advice would you give to a newcoming actor that wants to star in movies?
Again, a drama school really, really helped me. I don't think I would have got here without that training, and that training then led me to getting an agent, and the agent will then get the audition. It's pretty much like a lily pad situation. But then again, I know a lot of actors that also have been drama school at all.
It probably makes it harder in the long run. I've had friends who didn't go to drama school and do it. They've done very well, but they sometimes will tell me in a pub that they still don't have the confidence that they've done the training, and therefore they always think that there's something that someone who's been to drama school might have that they don't. It isn't necessarily the case. You do learn a lot of it on the job, but if you can, I know it's very expensive, nowadays especially, but if you can afford to, it's worth trying that. But it doesn't necessarily mean you can't. I've got, there was a friend of mine who asked me some advice for their son who's 15, wanted to get into acting. They live in Devon, miles away from anything. I said, go to the Devon Youth Theatre, which is where I started off, go to school. But if you can't do that, get together with your mates, watch films, and redo scenes from those films on a video recorder on your phone, and just play them over again. And it's a great way of learning about it as well, and have fun at the same time.
I think that's what Murray said. I think that's probably one of the most beneficial ways you can learn. If you can't afford drama school or your schedule doesn't allow you to just make your own movies, we've got so much equipment and technology you can get hold of very cheap. And if you just understand the basics of creating a small movie, and also the outlet we have nowadays, you could become a complete sensation in 6 months on YouTube, and from there as an outlet to turn into a movie star. I know that sounds crazy, but my personal journey very much started from Facebook and Instagram. I know that sounds insane to think I've done 8, 9 films now, 2, 3 TV shows, and it's spun from there with no training at all. I've since had training. I think if you're going to do it properly, like anything in life, you need to educate yourself on how to be the best you can at what you're doing, and I believe that's true of any profession you go into. I was very fortunate that I fell into acting. I was asked to sign for an agent. I never requested it. I never had any intention of becoming an actor. This agent approached me, and within 3-4 weeks I got my first job, which was that film with TV show with Ray Winston. So I was shot out to South Africa. I had more money than I'd ever seen in my life, and I didn't even know what I was doing. And it was that for me sort of sparked the love and the interest into wanting to become an actor. So then I invested a lot of time into the learning and the process. And I think anyone that's serious about it needs to, even if it's once a week or once every 2 weeks, needs to do something that's taking them into that right direction.
Nowadays as well, for this business, it's increasingly less you have to go to London for an audition. You can audition from wherever you are in the country. Quite often we're asked to do a self-tape overnight. So I will do a self-tape on my phone. You try not to make it too obviously like your living room or somewhere, your bedroom. But more often than not, that's the first point of contact with the job that you might eventually get, is a self-tape, and you can do it from 100 miles away from wherever they're holding the auditions the following week. So it's becoming increasingly easier to live wherever you are in the UK and still get into the industry.
I agree with you guys when you say you learn the most on the job. I think what drama school did the most for me is learning to mess up. And I think when you can't mess up when you've actually got the job, but drama school gives you 3 years to make those mistakes and watch yourself back and go, oh, that was crap, or that's definitely something I can do well. That's something I can't do very well. And it just gives you a platform to make all your mistakes before you end up, on the TV screen, make it from there. So yeah, I think I agree with you guys that I think I learned more about film and cinema on set than I have the whole 3 years of drama school, because you literally cannot know until you are there. But the mistake element of it, I can definitely do in training, and I think that's why it was important for me personally.
And there's such a lot going on in a film set. You don't really need to know everything, actually. No. The hardest part is to focus on just what your performance is with the other person or other people, and try and forget the fact that you've got 50 other people in carillons and tents and things with lots of gadgets you don't understand what they do. But your bit is, your responsibility as an actress to do this bit. That's great.
Before we go, one thing that we definitely can see from the trailers and everything is that and from what you've been talking about, there's lots of props and lots of great little bits on the set. Was there anything you kind of took from the set or were given from the set to keep? And if not, would there be anything that you would have liked to have kept?
I didn't steal anything from set.
I kept a pair of socks on inadvertently because it's cold and we were in a rush, so I kept the socks. Still got them, they're quite good.
Just me then. I had every every single shot that you see, I'm wearing a necklace, but you can't see it because my shirt goes over it. And when I finished it, I was like, look, no one even saw this necklace. I was like, can I have it? And they said, sure. And it's just this little Viking ship on a leather kind of cord. There's also, obviously there's the real metal sword that I have for the close-ups, and that has, you know, for the weight it has to look real, but for the shots where I'm actually hitting someone, that can't be a real metal sword, so we had a prop sword for that, which is made of like wood and rubber, and I don't know what it was made of, it was amazing. I don't know, plastic, I don't know. Anyway, you got the socks, yeah, and I begged them at the end to let me have one of them, because there was many of those, like, made to hit people with, so they let me have one of those, so that's in my living room at home now. To ward off burglars.
So just don't pull Anna's really luck at the end of that. Well, that is all the time we have with our panellists today, so please join me in giving a massive round of applause to our coaches. We've been talking about has intrigued you. You can buy the film on pre-order at the moment on Amazon. It's $9.99 on Blu-ray and $7.99 on DVD, and you can actually get it on the Apple platforms as well. You can buy it, download it today because it's actually out for you to get it online on demand. So please go ahead and do that. But before while our panel go, we're going to play for you our final clip from the film.
Grain by grain, aloof. Stone by stone, a castle. Warrior by warrior, a kingdom.
She's just a girl.
I'm a warrior. I'm a trained warrior.
You have learned all I have to teach you, Princess.
I thank you for the favor.
I may one day ask a favor of you in return.
Truth has one color, a lie many.
I will be your new king!
The one true heir of Volsung is a queen, not a king. You flatter me. I came here not to flatter my queen. I came here to fulfill your destiny.
A woman? The gods would never allow it!
Maybe the gods can stop me, but no man will!